producer for The Biggest Loser's getting in a bunch of heat too, because, you know, he made millions of dollars off the fat backs of, you know.
massive fat backs.
Massive fat backs of and it was unhealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's smooth. Lost on me right now. I'll get it later. You ready?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Connie's Untitled Nighttime Talk Show, the only self-help podcast that only helps me. My guest tonight is a comedian out of Northwest Arkansas, Mr. Bryron Klein.
It's me, yay.
Hooray, pause for applause.
I was waiting for applause.
Yep.
It's just the hum of machines right now.
It's just the dull hum. Actually, it's just acoustically better setup than like the last three that I've done.
Okay.
Yeah. Normally we got to compete with like cars coming by and stuff like that.
A dull hum is what I'm used to. Like when people announce my name, so that's not too far out there. We know this guy, sorta.
Alright, hold on. Let's go a bit closer to you. Bryron. You used to be 600 pounds?
605 was like the highest I ever got to.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's like documentary big, dude.
I know. So it's funny that you said that. So part of how I lost the weight was I had weight loss surgery.
Okay.
But before that, so I went to the team here in Fayetteville
Yep.
is like one of the best weight loss clinics in America. People like fly in specifically to have that surgery.
Wow.
In Fayetteville.
Go Razorbacks, all right.
And so he was trying to do, when I had the surgery, he was trying to get like a My 600 Pound Life like show off the ground. And he had a producer from New York that he was talking to, and since I was like the newest patient and I seemed a little charismatic, he put me in contact with the producer, and the producer came over and shot not a pilot, but like the test footage that they would present to whoever they were trying to sell it to, and be like,
You were too well adjusted for My 600 Pound Life?
I guess so.
Dude, have you seen My 600 Pound Life? Those bitches are intolerable.
I can't stand watching it.
Dude, it's safe. Okay. The last thing that I want to do with this show is to like pimp somebody else's problems.
Right.
And that's all that is on the Learning Channel. It is like, I don't know who I feel worse for. Like the people who've got emotional issues that they're never going to solve, or the fucking producers of the show.
Right.
This shit seems outright evil.
I don't mind like The Biggest Loser and stuff like that. I don't mind seeing like fat people get after it, even though it's unhealthy what they're pushing them. Like I don't mind seeing them get after it.
The producer for The Biggest Loser's getting in a bunch of heat too, because, you know, he made millions of dollars off the fat backs of, you know.
massive fat backs.
Massive fat backs of and it was unhealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard an interesting stat today that you'd be, might be curious to know. I heard today that like 80% of the people that are taking like the GLP, like the Ozempic, whatever, I heard that like 80% of the people that get on that get off of it like voluntarily within 2 years.
Yeah, I'm curious how much of that would be like they got on Ozempic just so they can lose like the 20, 30 pounds that they were on, that they didn't feel good about, and then they stopped doing it.
Well, so the
Or if
totally
it's like long term, and then they're like, "Fuck that! I'd rather just be fat." You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's more sinister than that. The totally unfounded theory that you can double check at home is that not only does it knock out your cravings for food, it knocks out your cravings for everything else that you like. Like the rate
I've been on some medication like that, and I understand that.
Yeah, the rate of depression goes up like 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never done Ozempic. I don't know if I would be open to it, especially having the surgery already.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. There's part of me that understands it because it does suck. And like somebody said the other day when I was talking about being overweight, they're like, "Jesus Christ! Like, how good are Cheetos?" Like, basically, like, why didn't you just stop? Essentially, and like even one of our buddies has been like, "Why didn't you stop when you got the 500 pounds?" Or something. Well, the same reason I didn't stop when I got the 400 pounds.
Yeah.
It's not like a vanity thing. It's
No,
a
I'm not
psychological
going for
thing.
a record. It's just habit.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and I grew up fat, so it's like it's comforting. Like that's all I've known.
I heard that like the reason that you can't only have one Lay's potato chip is because they've engineered that stuff to basically disable the gene that makes you satisfied.
Yeah, the food is made to be addicting. Even like the colors that they use on bags is meant to addict you, and like there's a certain amount of that comes down to like you're just making excuses. Like But also at the end of the day, it is what it is. They are purposely doing that. They are purposely trying to mindfuck you into buying the shit that is, we know is
motivation,
bad.
you know, I get that, you know, but
it's sort of like smoking cigarettes. Like, we all know cigarettes are fucking terrible for you, but
yeah,
we still smoke them.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and you know, I don't know, just define a healthy relationship with anything, you know.
Right.
Like, you know, I think it's like everything is supposed to be like the same amount that you enjoy sex. Like,
okay.
Like if you just got, you know, done with a session with somebody, it doesn't matter who walks through the door. You're pretty well spent.
Right.
You know.
I'm just imagining myself like getting gangbanged with McChickens and stuff. I had a buddy, like, I butt dialed him when I was before I lost the weight. I like butt dialed him during my order at Burger King, and he heard me order like 5 of the original crispy chicken sandwiches. And I was so embarrassed.
Oh.
Like, the fact that he knows that I eat a lot is like one thing, but the fact that he has like hard proof evidence of me ordering 5 sandwiches at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. God.
It was so bad. But yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I don't know. I mean, I did know him. I mean, I knew a fat guy. He'd like he'd get Burger King, then go to McDonald's while eating the Burger King.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially like those apps now, like the rewards they give you for being a glutton, and it's complete anonymity. Like, it's one thing to pull up to like a drive-thru and be like, "Hey, I need 5 double cheeseburgers. Don't tell anybody." As opposed to an app where I just click a button and now it's here.
Well, I think it's funny. It's like the first question they ask you is like, "Do you have the app?"
Yeah.
They should say what they mean. It's like, "Are you a fucking degenerate? Like, are you out of control?
Are you gonna die of a heart attack before you're 40?
Do you need to save 50 cents on this poison that we're selling?"
Right.
And I mean, I don't know. I feel like that'd be a spiritual defeat for me personally. Like, I've never gotten DoorDash. Like, I haven't done it. I think it's lazy enough that you go through the drive-thru.
I mean, it's good when you're out of town.
Sure.
Yeah, like if you're posted up in a hotel and you don't want to leave your hotel, that's good. But like, if
Still,
you're in town and you're ordering from somewhere across the street, that makes sense.
The whole concept of like to-go food is because you're too lazy to cook.
Yeah, that's a
now
good
I'm
point.
too lazy not to cook. Like,
I can't even leave the house to go pick this up.
No, that's not convenience. That's a symptom.
Yeah.
Like, that's, you know, something.
You can already like 3D print food and stuff, and so like you're not even gonna be able to. You're not even have to order on an app. You can just like 3D print a burger in like 20 years.
They got that Jetsons window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have Rosies walking around serving everything.
That's gonna be cool, but not for the period where they have to like figure it out.
Right.
You know, they're gonna be like, we got too much plastic in the beef again. You know, it's almost as low as normal beef.
I didn't print enough lattices and support structures, so it's just a Jello now.
So it's all
meat
just
Jello.
applesauce, but it tastes like.
It tastes like chicken.
I almost said chicken pot pie, but that's kind of like applesauce.
It's almost like it's gonna be like the Matrix, how they eat that slop, and they're like, how do the machines know what chicken tastes like? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like most food is kind of like that. You know, like already. Like, I don't know. Like, if you have strong feelings about the flavor of green beans versus broccoli, I don't want to talk to you. Like, you know. All right, how about this? Are you a picky eater?
I am to a certain extent, like especially when I was a kid. I was the kid that like had to have special meals made for him because I just refused to eat it if there was like onions in it or something.
Okay, yeah.
But I also got really good at cooking when I was younger. Like, my aunt worked at the shop, and so like I used to tell people used to ask like, "Bryron, are you a good cook?" And I'd be like, "Well, yeah, I didn't get the 600 pounds by waiting around for someone to come home and cook for me." Like,
yeah, well, okay, and that's like admirable. At least you get something out of it by doing that. You know, it's not just like cruising around in a hover around in the state fair, like getting everything.
I used to
on a
walk
stick.
around and look at the people in the jazzies and the hover rounds. I'd be like 600 pounds just walking around fine.
Yeah.
I was still like light on my feet for being as big as I was.
Well, you got to be a fucking ox under there if you're carrying around all that. You know?
I used to look at those people and just like there was a part of me that would like, as shameful as I was to see skinny people walking around, I knew that they were looking at me.
I'm
and
literally
just
above
as
you.
much shame. Yeah, and that brought me a little bit of joy, being like at least somewhat higher on the totem pole. Like I was at least above the jazzy kids.
I don't know. I'd venture to say that watching somebody who's 600 pounds like walk around is impressive.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what my buddies used to do. Like we would just be broke as fuck, and like since I grew up fat, I was just walking around everywhere.
Yeah.
We would curse out the kid who lived like on the other side of town.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that motherfucker, just poor ass. Why do you gotta live across the train tracks? You broke bitch. Now I gotta walk over there.
Yeah. Son of a bitch.
Fucking poor.
Oh gosh.
But that producer from New York for the surgery, when he came over to like interview me for the show, he was like, "Hey, do you like any kind of food, like fast food or whatever?" And I was like, "I don't mind Sonic's right down the street."
I don't know all of it. Like...
So he stopped and got like burgers and cheese sticks and onion rings so that he could film me eating this really unhealthy stuff.
Jesus Christ.
But before the surgery, they ask you to lose as much weight as possible on your own. So one of the first places you lose weight is around your organs.
Yeah.
And it helps with surgery.
Internal. There's a vocab word for you. We'll
yeah.
Put it a little...
And so at that point, I had already lost like 40 pounds just dieting and like walking around. But he shows up with all this high class fat food, or like the high grade fat food, like pure nuclear diesel, so that he could get shots of me eating the stuff and then asking me like, how do you feel when you eat that cheeseburger? What does that do inside of you? I don't
make you feel like I should be getting therapy right now.
I feel like I did a mistake letting you in here.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a zoo animal. Jesus Christ. I feel bad just going to Sonic because, like, I feel like most of the businesses in Oklahoma are centered around not getting out of your car.
Yeah.
You know, like
they built it right into their game plan.
Exactly.
It's a car hop.
Yeah. We got somebody on roller skates.
Sometimes, depending on where you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
they should bring the roller skates back.
You gotta graduate to roller skates, dude. I saw a guy at the gas station today getting trained on how to put trash bags into the trash can.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know that guy's not going to be CEO.
How old was he?
Probably like 19, 20.
Okay.
But this is how trash bags work. Where do you go from there? Inhale, exhale.
This is how you park the cars, move
Yeah.
them back.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude! Do you ever pay cash for stuff and watch somebody have to do math?
If they don't have to do math, because those machines will literally pop up, like at least at like Harps, it'd be like, give them 2 ones, a dime, and a nickel. They tell them like exactly what it is. As long as you can look and see what it is, you don't need to do math.
Oh, dude! Last experience I had like that, I was working with the B team at the liquor store.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, I hand him a 20 for like a $7 purchase. And I'm like, yeah, $12.96, that's my change. And she's like, hold on. She busts out her calculator on her phone.
Oh my God.
And then I lose 2 minutes of my life.
And like,
and then she's
at least
like, oh,
the
you're
year
right.
of humanity.
That was really quick. And I'm like, yep. Yeah, I guess so.
There was some new kid at Casey's, at the Casey's in Gentry. Like, it was his first day. And he gave me $10 too much in change.
Nice.
I sat out in the car just like,
Do I tell him?
this kid is going to have to like count the register and answer for why his till is $10 short at the end of the day, and what I assume is his first day. So I went back in and gave him the $10. I just felt so bad that he was going to be sitting there like, I don't know.
I had a good one not too long ago where some guy, he looked like he was on methadone or something, because like one of his eyes was closing, you know.
Okay.
and like he tries to scan a Milky Way, goes for it twice, it doesn't beep, and then he just gave it to me.
Just tap out halfway through.
Is this how Maverick runs business here? I don't know.
I worked at a movie theater for a little bit, and I didn't realize you're supposed to charge them like if they want like a cup of butter or like extra butter on the popcorn. It's like 25 cents or something. And so I just remember putting like extra butter in there, and he'd like go to hand me exchange. I was like, just fucking take your popcorn, man. Just get out of here. I'm not charging you for this.
See, that's cool. That's cool. I like getting the hookup, even for like little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Makes me feel like I'm VIP.
I still have that theater shirt. Part of me wants to just walk in and go to a movie someday and see how far I can make it.
I tried to. That'd be a good move.
Yeah.
I found a bunch of ambiguous VIP wristbands.
Okay.
At work.
This is where all of them. Something. Look, I'm clearly covered.
I put one on and tried to like get into places at the state fair last weekend when I was in Minnesota.
Okay, how'd that work?
Didn't work. I got the wrong color. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally would have worked though. You got to scout the color. That's how you do that.
I love that you just got out of Minnesota, right?
I just drove for fucking 10 hours. I'm actually exhausted.
Have you been hearing anything about the shooting?
As soon as I left, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's like some guy shot up a school or a church.
Yeah.
And he was an adult and a honky.
Yeah.
Not a good look for us. But
I mean, it's always white people with like when it's like a mass shooting, like if it's a one-on-one, it could be anybody.
We do have
But,
the
like,
market
the
cornered
mass.
and the people cornered in that regard.
Yeah.
The part I don't like is where he shoots himself at the end.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
like it when they get taken alive. Like,
Well, yeah. Yeah,
because
with
I
like
think the
15
interviews
bullet
and the
holes in their
documentaries
legs.
are more interesting.
I don't. Okay, tell me what you think about this. I think my girlfriend loves murder documentaries.
Okay.
I think it's an interesting choice to fall asleep to. I
Yeah.
feel like if you watch nothing but murder documentaries, you shouldn't be allowed to say that you have anxiety. You know?
It's built in.
Oh, well, it's conditioned. Yeah, like
I mean, it's just really long episodes of the news at this point. Like,
pretty much. Yeah.
It's
Long
just-
form versions of just, you know.
someone watched Dateline and was like, this is going to be everywhere in the future.
Well, and it's similar to the 600-pound life thing. I just don't get off on watching the worst day of somebody's life,
Right.
unless it's a race car driver.
Who are you considering as the, like, when you talk about their worst day of their life, are you talking about the people getting murdered or the people doing the murdering? When you say it's
I think the
their worst
people who
day
are
of their
doing the
life.
murdering
Okay.
are having fun. You
Yeah.
know, they could have gone to war. They could have got sanctioned. You know?
Right.
But, you know, they're just, you know, I don't know, preying on people. I don't think. I mean, obviously, you know, objectively speaking, it's a bad day for them. But if they're hard when they're stabbing somebody, I don't know that they
Yeah.
feel the same way. You know.
I was talking about the serial spree, like the spree murder is like, we'll start out with something like real passionate and they'll get like that giant release, and then they're basically just chasing the dragon when they go on their murder spree because they're just trying to relive that same feeling they got with the initial kill, and it just keeps going away more and more.
I want to see on the documentaries the interview with the parents, like how bad they dropped the ball.
Right.
You know, how many cats did you lose? You know, before
I'm always
you
interested in what music-
graduated. You know, because that's how it works. It always ramps up. Guy squeezes frog, then he squeezes a cat, then he goes for a dog. You know,
Right.
and then what?
So, my girl, she has 3 kids from a different dude, and one of the kids had like beat a bird with a stick, and then like had purposely killed a frog. And we're like, hey, this is something that's happening with the son. We should maybe address this. This is
I
not
guess
good.
It
And the
depends
dad-
how he killed the frog. You know.
He just like threw it against the ground, like
Ah,
smashed it.
okay, yeah, it's not great.
And so the dad, like, he's just like beating animals to death and like killing them. And so we told the dad, and the dad was like, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, I used to go frog gigging. I was like, well, you're using the frogs
gonna
to like
eat those. Yeah.
you're doing it with a purpose, not just look at that thing and then you're dead.
And then squish it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'll give a pass to the people that blow them up with fireworks.
Okay.
I think that's a different activity for some reason. You know, just because it's probably not a good way to murder somebody.
Does it depend on the day? Like if it's 4th of July versus like October 10th and you're blowing up frogs?
I'd say the most acceptable time to blow up an animal, especially like one that fits in your hand.
Is
maybe not-
4th of July?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about 9/11? Can you do like what animals are allowed on 9/11?
On 9/11, probably the Muslim ones. No, I don't know.
Anything that flies?
Yeah. Well, and that's a good point too. We do draw the line on different stuff. If the thing can make eye contact with you, it's typically not okay to like
Yeah.
fuck with them.
There was a quote I just saw from Nietzsche where it was like, if you kill a cockroach,
Hell yeah.
holy fuck, that killed me. Yeah, it was like a quote from Nietzsche where it was like, if you kill a cockroach, you're a good guy, but if you kill a butterfly, you're a bad person. And like our sense of morality is
It's
based,
just based on
your
aesthetics.
appearance. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, you know. Yeah, no, it is. I can't. I don't know. I can't justify that.
One of my buddies, Stephen Reed, has a joke about like it's really hard for guys to be nice to like ugly chicks or something, and everyone laughs because it is a certain amount of truth that is recognized there.
Yeah. Well, you know, Dimitri Martin has like the hot girl, the scale of hotness versus how interested I am in your cats. You know, I mean, it is true. We are shallow,
Yeah,
aesthetically driven
pigs to
Yeah.
a certain extent.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't know. I mean,
You got to base it on something.
right?
What are we gonna do? Personality?
Yeah,
You gotta, like,
yeah.
learn
I'm not.
somebody.
I don't have time for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long? Yeah.
Ask questions.
Jeez.
Uh,
I mean, I don't know. A lot of it is that, you know, like in relationships, it is kind of a choice, an individual choice at that, to be happy.
yeah.
You know,
And to
Like,
stick it out when you're unhappy.
Yeah, and then who? Well, yeah, and then who are you to say no to love, asshole? You know.
Right.
You know how long can you hold out for something better before you're, I don't know, not any better?
How
You
long
know?
before you got into the relationship were you like single?
I think the longest relationship I had before dating the girl that I'm with was like 6 months. It was my high school girlfriend.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know. Well, okay, so like, let me preface that by saying, like, when I moved to Arkansas, there was a culture shock. You know, a lot of teen moms out here. You know, nobody likes wearing condoms, and I mean, like, actually doesn't wear condoms.
Yeah.
And I've heard so many stories from like men and women where like they thought that because they rolled the dice so many times and got away with it, that they just couldn't
sterile.
get pregnant, which is retarded, you know, because they're not biologists. These guys, they're usually
Right.
bartenders. Like, yeah,
And they're ingesting who knows what to help bring it down on that particular level, that particular night or whatever.
yeah, they're using drugs. You
Yeah.
know? Like, sure, but like, I don't know. I mean, like my dad was like the youngest of like 9.
Okay.
Chances are it's gonna work, you know.
Right.
And like me, okay, I started listening to Loveline when I was like way too young. So like that was the biggest fear that I had.
Right.
You know, it was fun going to like 6th grade and like discussing what an orgasm was with people. Wildly inappropriate, but like, you know, yeah, like because of that show, I knew that like the worst thing that you could do for your life is,
Going uncovered.
is to have a kid, you know.
Right.
Like, okay, and there's multiple angles you could take at that. I mean, like the greenest thing that you could do, the best thing for the planet in terms of like carbon footprint and what have you, is just to not have a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Doug Stanhope. Like,
Yeah.
If you do animals green or whatever it says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Don't f- in the front hole.
well, you know, that's a hell of a sales pitch too. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know. I don't know. You ever done it?
I mean, like on me or like to
Wow.
someone else.
I mean, that's an interesting distinction. You really are
I've
doing
never
it.
been a bottom. I've
You are-
been on top.
You are doing it to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels mean.
I'm always reticent when like they're like, "Oh my god, it feels so good." I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you're doing this mostly for me, which I appreciate.
Well,
I
yeah.
love you for it, but I'm so curious.
It sort of feels like, I don't know. It feels like a ring around it and then nothing on the back end. Like, I don't know. You know,
Just
but-
literally blowing up the.
yeah, you know, like a is a very purpose-built instrument. You know, like they're nice. You know.
I love how we transitioned from. So Byron, you were 600 pounds to. You ever one in the?
We covered blowing up a frog earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're blowing up.
You know, I feel like it flowed pretty naturally.
That's a good flow. I like
Yeah, yeah. I'd let you top. You know.
it. Top of the conversation is fucking
Uh-huh.
right in the ass.
Yep. Yep. How long have you been doing comedy?
I don't know. I can go back to the exact date and find it. It was when we were doing, when Natural State was still doing comedy at Nomad Southtown. You ever go out there?
Yeah.
You remember Stage 18? Were you around for Stage 18?
I think I saw a couple things at state. That was like the little room, right
Yeah,
next
the red
to.
curtain.
Yeah, and it
Just right
had.
on Main Street.
And it had. It was right next to what was that DIY place?
Something like that. I can't remember.
This
Backspace?
Backspace. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little way from there.
Okay. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
down the street from there.
When we went to the back, what was it, back room?
Yeah.
Into that, I thought back room was backspace and like they had moved. I was telling Stetson about it and he was like, I don't think it's the same place.
Backspace went out of business years ago.
I don't think
I'll
it was
never.
a business.
I'll never forget the first time that I was there.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I got there, and I was like, hey, you guys got a bathroom? Oh, you can just pee outside.
Yeah.
It's like, if I could actually do whatever the fuck I want here.
I did a comedy show there one night, and some girl got up out of the room and ran out screaming because she was on acid.
Oh, hell yeah.
And was like telling us, like, I'm on acid, I gotta get out of here.
That's the thing people on acid do.
Yeah.
They tell you.
I don't know. I've done it once, but it was like such a small hit that it was just like tripping into it. I'm afraid. Like,
I don't know.
I've had like some bad experiences on mushrooms where like, now when I look at mushrooms, like even thinking about taking mushrooms, I get like anxiety and like and shake. So like the idea of doing like acid gives me just as much anxiety.
What's up? How you doing, man? Doing good. I would do it once, like, every day. for a period of like, I literally, I had a 30-day stretch where I would hit myself and, you know, and try to like play it off, you know? And then I found myself in these funny situations where I'm like, I'm trying to act like I'm sober, even though I'm definitely not.
Right.
And I'm like thinking in my head, okay, make eye contact, listen. This is what a friend does. Holy shit, I need to be tripping to realize this. This is bullshit. I'm an asshole.
Having a complete introspective experience where you're trying to be an
And I'm
extrovert
like,
at the same
no,
time.
This is how you be friends. Yeah, you just be a good person. You know, and like, yeah, since doing that, and pulling it off, I might add.
Nailed it.
Well, I don't really see a need to do it.
To go back again.
Well, you know, Terrence McKenna would say it's like, you know, the phone's ringing, you pick up the phone, you know, and you get the message. Eventually you can put the phone down.
Right.
Like all of those guys that were doing that stuff, like the McKenna gang, they were like, they graduated. They had a graduation ceremony, like from acid.
Done it all. Can't do anything else with it.
Well, I mean, like, guys, I get it. You know, I
Right.
don't. You know, I think it's really just the time commitment thing. Like, who's got 12 hours to sit and look at the carpet? You know.
Right.
Right. It's like,
Sometimes I feel like that about weed because I lived in California for a while and got to go to the Cannabis Cup. I lived in Colorado for a while and like experienced all the stuff they had out there. So parts of me feels like I've been like to the tippy top of like what weed is.
Oh, God.
And so like coming back here and just going back to like medical, I'm just like I'm just getting high. It's fun, but
I feel the same way. You know, like that traveling bong sales gig that I had for 3 years. I'd have to take like 500 milligrams a day and go about my day so that if I did a dab with every business owner that I talked to, which is hopefully as many people as I can,
yeah,
that I wouldn't be drooling on myself. And you get to a point where it's like you just don't get stoned anymore.
right.
And it was gut check time because like I'd break an arm off of my gummy bear that I eat 2 of every day. Give one to Sam, give one to EJ before open mic, and then during their set they're just staring at the floor talking about the carpet for 5 minutes. I'm like, ooh.
Did I do that? My
Maybe
bad.
wow, yeah, I definitely, you know, roofied them. But you know,
They asked for it.
They did. They did.
Literally.
I was like, hey, you want this?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Oh, it's so cool in here. I'm like, ah, shit. But no, seriously, like now, especially because like the whole fucking my professional life is falling apart. Friday, like day after tomorrow will be the last day that I've worked for this company that I started.
Okay.
And I get to say that I was the first and last employee somewhere.
The bong one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out if that makes me sound like a dumbass for hanging around until the wheels absolutely fell off, or if I'm loyal
Yeah,
for
loyal.
doing so. Yeah, that's a nicer way to put
You gotta
it.
see it through to the end.
Well, okay, you know, the band that played on the Titanic, they're playing as the boat sank.
Yeah.
Consummate professionals.
Right.
But they're also first to die.
Right.
Like, you know, this, yeah.
But it's not like someone announced like, "Hey, we're gonna hit this iceberg tonight. Would you like to leave now, or do you want to stay on?" Because I imagine you had to know the company was.
Oh, no. Like, I knew, like, okay, so I'd scream and I'd bitch about problems, and the response that I got was, Conrad, why are you being so negative? And I was like, because nobody is hearing me.
We gotta do something.
We have a fucking problem.
Right.
It'd be like, you know, okay, it'd be like the guy in the Titanic, it'd be like, iceberg, Conrad, you gotta be more positive. Iceberg.
We hit the iceberg, we're gonna die.
Boom, we hit
Calm
the
down.
iceberg. You fuckers.
Right.
I'm out, you know. Yeah, that's about my relationship with where I'm at. Plus, like, you know, the day after I gave, you know, I gave my 2 weeks on Monday, and then on Friday the paycheck bounced.
Their paycheck mounts to you.
Yes. So, you know, I'm loyal until it bounces.
The paper goes away.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
I
the
was
reason you're
barely,
there.
I was barely eking out an existence beforehand, telling myself that I had time to do comedy, you know, and you know, like not, you know, I don't know. You don't get a fucking raise for years,
Right.
You know, it's not.
And then just watch it all go down.
Well, you know, the other part was like I was learning the skills to make stuff like this happen, you know, because there's no oversight.
Right.
You know, their negligence is the reason I was able to get into comedy. Like my little cheat code back when we first started, it was diabolical because I had a gas card, you know.
Oh shit.
And I could drive it, you know, and this is when, you know, there wasn't but like 2 open mics in town here, or about town, you know.
Right.
And I'd set if I planned everything perfectly, like down to like not getting a flat tire, minute to minute, then I could, exist like an electron in superposition, pop up in Joplin, pop up in Tulsa, wherever the show had to be.
You were everywhere.
Yeah. Well, it's because, it was all work.
Right.
And, it worked out for them because they're not going to find a sales guy that doesn't want to come home.
So when you take in consideration the fact that you got to do this and build the infrastructure with, like, the people that you have now.
Yeah.
Is it, like, even though that company went down, like,
yeah.
is that still a waste of time?
No, I definitely got something out of it. Not because they wanted to give it to me.
Right. Not what they wanted to give you, but you got something.
But I did, yeah. Which I would, I don't know. I'd almost give myself credit for that more than them.
Well, yeah,
And if they were actually paying attention, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Bittersweet, I guess.
Could have been worse, but now you're doing a podcast in the back of a brewery.
Yep.
Look at this.
Yep. And I did an open mic in Minnesota, and some guy's going to pay me $25 on December 4th.
Just for doing the open mic?
No, I'm going to go.
You got a show?
I'm going to go do a set, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 20 minutes, little feature spot, and he's paying me $25, and I'll have an excuse to visit my family.
There you go.
Yeah.
When people are always like, it's only like $20 for like whatever, like, the fact that you're giving me anything to say the stupid shit that I say is amazing to me.
That is amazing.
When I first got into comedy, I made like a couple of the shows that I went to, like, I think I remember I made like $80 altogether, like in my first year in comedy, and I met this like much more seasoned comic at one of our shows.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you're new. How's it going?" I was like, "I made $80 this year," and she like looked at me like I was an idiot, like I was bragging about it, but I was just more so like.
That's a big
blown
deal.
away.
That's a big deal.
Someone gave me $20 at all to say this.
We're not in New York.
Talking about dogs smoking meth and jacking off invisible people, and you're going to be $20 for that?
Yeah.
The young me would be like, "Oh, I didn't know this was an option. I just started this when I was like 15."
Yeah, well, yeah, like Chris Rock. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. What do I have to talk about when I'm 15 years old, though? Like, I feel like a lot of art, especially the type of stuff that we're doing, and maybe this is just my own insecurity expressing itself, but like, I don't know. And I find it with songwriters too. It's like, if you haven't lived the life we're talking about, what is it that you really have to say of any consequence,
Right.
My mom's a bitch. Like, I hate bedtime,
I feel like there's definitely some like internal dialogue that you can get out for comedy. Like, even if you haven't done much, like
in lieu of
your
therapy,
mind isn't sitting there. Like, there's definitely still a lot that you can get out.
Well, that's one of my favorite things about it. That plus, like, you really can mine every experience that you've ever had.
Yeah.
Like if I'm at, the gas station, the DMV, any place, and stuff is going bad, I almost hope it goes so bad that I can talk about it. Yeah. Whereas before I would have just been annoyed that it took me, 20 minutes to make a $50 purchase at Home Depot because they thought I was a thief versus like, now I can, now everything's up for, you can use it,
Right.
Yeah. Which is, what you're doing is the same thing that you learn in therapy. You're basically rewriting your memory to make it work to your benefit.
Yeah, they started having me journaling when I first started going to therapy. They gave me a journal, and I started journaling for like ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I started like developing like an internal monologue. Like, I never really had like that voice in my head that like, this is what's happening, this is what's going on. Like, I would just move through my day and have my thoughts.
Yep.
I never really had like that internal monologue until I started doing the journaling and like
Look at this fucking guy.
just having that journal.
No, I'm just. I have a bad habit. It's like whenever I'm thinking, I gotta go stare off into the distance, and then everybody looks over their shoulder like I'm looking at something.
I do that when I do comedy because if you notice, I look up
as
if there's a balcony over us, like I'm like in a big arena, but I'm just trying not to look at people in the eyes.
I think that okay, so it took me like 3 years of really hitting it before I could be comfortable. One was silence, which I'm still not comfortable with, and then two, like being able to physically like actually see people's faces.
Right.
Because like when you do make eye contact in a stage situation, it's almost like holding somebody hostage. You know, like it connects more with them. You
Right.
know, especially with like with comedy, you get points for authenticity, and when you're looking somebody in the eye, you are making more of a connection. You know, more of the horsepower is getting to the tires, and when I started it would just be like get really drunk and then pick a spot on the wall and then perform to it,
Yeah.
and then hope that the writing was good enough that I wasn't embarrassed.
I was always so scripted and everything. Like, I would, like, over-prepare to the point that I would memorize everything. Like, if you go through my notes, like, I'm saying it verbatim how I wrote it on the screen.
Totally.
And so, like, that would be, like, my main focus is just getting through what I said. Like,
Right.
Just focusing on getting through that. And to the point that, like, I would rush through it. It's like the stories that, like, I'm sitting at home timing by myself are, like, 5 minutes. I'm getting through in, like, 3.5 minutes. And I'm just
Absolutely.
staring at people.
That's
and
always how it goes.
I don't have, the wherewithal in me to, like, all right, well, we still got a few minutes, so let's just play around and see what else we can do. Like, that's my main thing is, like, being in the moment, and like if I panic or something's not going right, being able to pivot instead of just I got to get out of here.
Well, I think it was like last week, because comedy is, in my mind, infamous for bad sound.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take a microphone, they'll plug it directly into the thing. They don't know that and it'll sound like Charlie Brown when all you got to do is press 2 buttons and everybody acts like it's okay because for some fucking reason, one that I can't understand, and maybe it's OCD, but like nobody bought, like even some of the pro guys that I know never bothered to learn how any of their equipment worked.
Yeah.
Hey,
I've
I'd be working at the comedy club and like Derek fucking Stroop, headliner, holds the microphone at his belly button, yells out over it,
Yeah.
and it's like, fuck.
I remember holding the head of the microphone and
Yeah.
causing the feedback. And
Yeah,
you're like,
the rapper.
You're like, quit holding it hold it like you're supposed to, dumbass.
Yeah. Well, I love it when people like, if I see more than like 3 people in the lineup like fuck up audio wise, I'll do a whole class. I'm like, guys, hey, if you put the microphone in front of the speaker like this,
It fucks it
it
all
makes
up.
this noise, and when you grip it by the tip, it sounds like this.
Yeah.
It's like a hand job. Grab it by the base. Like,
Work the head with your mouth.
yeah.
Hammer on the base.
Yeah, you don't just mash the head of the fucking thing. That's way too sensitive. And I'll give a pass to people that don't know how to like mix stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, my background is like I was a volunteer like radio DJ
Oh shit.
when I was like 16
Okay.
at the college radio station. I heard this guy who's like this Japanese dude do the weather at the volunteer radio station. When he was done, I had no idea what was going to happen.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, they're actually letting anybody do this. That was the first fader that I touched. And then since then, multiple failed bands.
Right.
This is the second iteration. Like I wanted to do the podcast stuff before I even got into comedy.
Okay.
Yep. And it was me and this guy. And after like a month of like making shows, he was like, "You want to make out?" And I was like, "No, what?"
Like on the podcast? Or just
Well, no, like after the
behind
show.
scenes?
After the show, shout out. He was like, "You want to make out?" And I'm like, "No." He was like, "This wasn't just an elaborate ploy to,
Get to know me?
Yeah." And I was like, "No, I want to do this." I've had experiences like that in bands too.
Is that
Yeah.
what killed the first podcast? Was the,
That's what. Well, yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, it got weird.
yeah.
Yeah,
I can
was
imagine.
like, oh, geez, one-sided sexual tension.
What was the original podcast supposed to be if you're just interviewing comics with this one?
I was trying to do Joey Diaz's show, basically. I
Okay.
was trying. Yeah, the co-host. I try to get him as stoned as possible.
Yeah, but just fuck with him
and
the whole
keep
time.
him talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it got really dark, and I might edit out his name, but like he started.
Probably not a bad
I'm gonna make a
idea.
note on there. Yeah, because like, I don't know what it is about this. I don't know what it is about like putting a microphone and telling people that you're recording, but so many people like treat it like confession.
What did I tell you?
It was 3 episodes in before he was like, I know a guy in a Walmart parking lot that I met off of Craigslist, and I was like, oh,
Save it for the stage,
I
asshole.
don't know. Well, he wasn't a comedian either.
Should've
This
been.
is just 2 guys hanging out in an apartment room, and I can see where he got the idea now. But
That should have been the name of the podcast.
two guys in an apartment. Well, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
Possible.
Well, yeah, and that's why, I don't know. I think the term podcaster is like gross.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a podcaster. I'm like, no, I have a show. Just say that.
Especially since there's like, so many comparisons to like what the idea of a podcast is supposed to be.
Oh my god, dude. And I said it off mic, but I'll say it again. Like, you know, when I see somebody who's got the big fucking gooseneck, you know, microphone holder instead of the little stick, and, you know, the discipline not to touch the table, you know, like wearing headphones to talk to somebody that's 3 feet away from them, it kind of takes me out of it.
Right.
I mean, shit, they make like podcast brand microphones. It says podcast on the fucking thing. It's like, guys, all you had to do is learn the first thing, buy a microphone, you know, fuck with it, and they didn't do that. They're like, well, I'm going to start a podcast.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? You know, the podcast camera, the podcast mic.
I was looking at like Sweetwater and
Yeah,
Guitar
see,
Center,
that's the start.
and they have like the packages that you can buy of like the podcast
$2,000.
package. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just wanting to get a like, PA system and everything. There's so many things that are geared towards the podcast and like the basic forward-facing mics and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, if I wasn't in competition with these guys, I'd encourage everybody to do it. But, you know, I think what I was doing, because I'm trying to do it like a punk rock setup, use like a field recorder, not use nice stuff so that the kids at home don't feel like they have to spend $2,500,
Okay.
you know.
You're making dreams.
Well, I don't know. I'm I hope, and I simultaneously hope that my nephews aren't listening to the show.
Right.
Yeah. And if they are, guys, just do your own stunts. You know?
Yeah. I can't wait to not share this with my family.
Right. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. And, I don't know. The show itself only gets like 20 views, but I feel like I get more respect for doing this locally than like most of the other stuff that I do.
Yeah, I think, and also the follow through, because there's so many people who are like, "Oh, let's start a podcast." And
Oh
they'll do,
my
like,
God, yeah,
one,
they
maybe
talk
2
about it.
episodes or whatever, and then it just falls off. Like the follow through and being like
Well,
the fact that people can count on you getting a podcast every week is sort of like the basis of getting anything off the
well,
ground.
it's just execution, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we could talk artistic process if you want, but like the reason that it's Connie's Untitled is because the title of the show is secondary to just getting it done.
Right.
You know,
Just
like,
getting it out.
Right. Like, just put it out. Like, and especially with a podcast, because as far as like entertainment goes, this is the lowest effort
Yeah.
thing, you know, because like it's not scripted. I'm not thinking about what I'm saying before I say it.
Right.
You know, and
You didn't spend
and
like
you can,
4 hours doing notes.
Right. And yeah, I didn't have to read your book. You know,
Not yet.
If I have a guest of consequence and who writes, I probably would. You know.
Eventually, you get up there.
But, you know, if I keep it all within the wheelhouse of, like, entertainment and do it with, like, local entertainers,
Right.
then, you know, I'm like Joe Rogan who watch, I don't have to do research, you know?
Right.
Yeah, we could just talk shop. But I'm a bald guy with a fanny pack and a fucking podcast.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how we're gonna get there from the bald thing, but
I don't know karate.
you could.
Well,
What if you learned jujitsu, like, and like that was the new thing? You just
Then I
started
got
choking out guests.
fungal infection on my skin. Already became, more
Connie the
sun
choke
sensitive. Yeah, well, I've thought about that, you know, bringing a jackass component to the show,
That'd be fun.
like stunts.
So my buddy had a camera, like I always wanted to get a camera, and we had a buddy that had one, and so me and my friends would film like jackass style stuff, and we call it Stupid Shit Saturdays, and just like get the hose and flood the yard. And he had like a skim board, and we would like skimboard in the backyard and
Yep.
tackle each other off and spear each other off and just do the dumbest
Just
shit.
dick around, yeah.
There's somewhere out there. There's actual VHS tapes of us just.
VHS tapes. Wow.
Yeah, it was like one of those that
That's
you had to like.
badass, dude. I want to see those tapes, dude.
I know, so do I. There's one of me doing a freestyle somewhere.
Yeah.
The most terrible freestyle that if it ever surfaced, I'd probably fucking finish the job.
Dude, in 5th grade, me and my buddies, we made like one of our school projects was to make a thing, and I I hope this never finds the light of day. with Sharpie put like a Hitler stash on. And, you know, there's a public service announcement. Only you can fight government tyranny. It was me lip syncing to like a speech he was giving. It was bad.
Did you still have hair at the time?
I did, yeah.
The blonde hair and everything?
Plausible deniability. Perfect, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and then the teacher was like, what the hell was that? Like, we got chewed out after the fact. And it was like, that was racist. And we're like, I don't know what that means.
I have a bit about a teacher I'm trying to work on that I haven't done on stage. Might do it tonight.
Pretty one?
About a pervert one.
Oh.
We had a science teacher. He was giving our sex ed class, our like sex ed talk.
He was having too much fun with it.
And, well, they
put a condom on himself.
They let us all put like questions into a bowl.
Christ, no.
Who's calling? It's important.
Keep going.
All right. Yeah, so he put questions
Hey, James, I'm
into a bowl.
All right, cool. All right, thanks.
And we just all threw the questions in so that way it was anonymous, so we wouldn't feel weird about asking whatever questions we had to ask about sex.
Yeah.
And one of the questions one of the kids put in there was like, how do you pick up girls or how do you pick up chicks? And so Mr. Fettler, the science teacher, because if he's still working there, he shouldn't be, but he basically told us that what he would do is in college is he would get an orange juice and he would walk around and drink orange juice because everyone would assume that he's drinking a screwdriver, and then he would pick up drunk chicks. It was basically
predatory.
Like all the girls in the class immediately was like disgusted. All the guys in the class were like staring at him like caveman discovering fire.
Tell me more.
It was disgusting. I want to work on that.
Oh my god, no, there's something there.
So now whenever anyone drinks like an orange juice in the bar, I immediately assume, oh, they're there to pick up women and like be disgusting about it.
Well, you know, more so than the guys who drink milk.
Drink milk at a bar?
I don't know. Yeah, those Mormons, you know.
Their magic underwear. I always think about the in Clockwork Orange when they're at the Korova milk bar. They're drinking milk plus acid, just tripping on acid. I would love to go do that.
Clockwork Orange.
Getting back to the acid.
I definitely saw that when I was a little bit too young.
Same.
Yeah.
Watched all the Kubricks when I was crazy young.
Oh yeah, dude. Full Metal Jacket.
I always watched like the first half of Full Metal Jacket. Like the last half is good too, but like it doesn't compare to Gunny just yelling at people the whole time.
Oh, dude, Arlie Ermy is hilarious.
He was supposed to just be an extra. He was supposed to just be there, like give them tips on how do you do it. Like this is how I would do it if I was a drill instructor. Legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Kubrick was like, just put you in the movie. Fuck, he fired the actor and put him in the movie instead.
Listen up, scumbags.
Yeah. And then like I remember people saying like all those lines to me like in school.
Yeah.
And not knowing about it, and then finally seeing that and be like, oh, this is where that all comes from. That makes sense.
Arlie Ermy has like one of the most fascinating lives. Like, you know, went and fought, came back, went to Japan, bought a whorehouse, married the mama-san.
I did not know that. That's pretty great.
No, he's yeah. Like, are you shitting me?
That's pretty epic.
Yeah, and then he got a show where he's just shooting off guns. This is the most heterosexual man in the world.
After he just stumbled into an Academy Award nominated movie.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Works with the best director ever. Like, Jesus Christ. They don't make them like that anymore.
I wonder what that was like working, like having Arlie Hermy and Kubrick together. Because Kubrick would make them like redo sheets and like scenes like 15 times to try to get like something a little bit different. So just imagine like him being like, all right, we need you again. Scream at these guys again for another 10 minutes.
I think he was in some movie like The Lucky Number 11 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
He was in a movie like that where like they had a prop phone on set. Somebody called it and it almost ruined the shot. And he just picked it up, told them to fuck themselves, and then put it down, and they put that in the movie. That's
pretty great.
Yeah.
You ever see Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence?
Uh-uh.
It's really good. It's really underrated. But it starts out in like the 30s or 40s, and they get wrongfully accused of a crime, and they get sent to prison for like their entire life. They get sent to prison, and then at the end they see the cop who put him in prison, but it's obviously like 60 years later, and so now he's old now, and the old cop is played by Arlie Ermy. It's great.
Oh yeah.
It's a super underrated movie.
Dude, I wish I was Arlie Ermy. Damn.
It's fire off guns.
Thank
and
you
just
for your
do whatever you
service.
want.
Fucking, he's like Ted Nugent, but likable.
Is he still alive?
No,
No.
he
Okay.
can't be.
I mean,
He's probably unkillable, but I don't think.
we'll have to look that up. I could look it up now, but I don't.
I'm pretty sure he's dead. I'm pretty sure he died like 10 years ago.
Okay, that makes sense. We'll go with it.
I'm pretty sure he was banging a mistress on a helicopter, well, shooting an Uzi or something. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If he died any other way,
Yeah, well, I mean, right. On the toilet like Elvis? No. Not for this guy.
Elvis isn't dead. Let's get past that.
Oh, really? So, you want to get into conspiracy theories?
I remember when I was a kid, I can't remember what it was or what it was for, but there was some like commercial that came up where it was talking about like ghosts and spirits. I don't know if it was for like some stupid 90s show.
Yeah.
But they showed the ghost of like Elvis in a house peering through blinds, and something about ghostly Elvis peering through the blinds freaked me the fuck out, and I had like turned the TV off and run away. And I used to be like afraid of like ghostly Elvis for a minute, like for a hot second.
I remember one time I woke my parents up because I watched X-Files too late,
Okay,
and I told them I saw the devil.
probably did.
I was just scared of the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched It when I was super young, and I refused to go to the bathroom by myself when I was a kid because of the scene where he comes up out of the shower,
Yeah.
out of the drain. I was
Yeah.
so sure he was going to come up and get me.
Oh, man.
I refused to watch it.
Did? Yeah. Well, snakes on a plane. They got the snake that comes out of the toilet and bites a guy in the dick. Dude, I saw snakes on a plane in the theaters.
Okay.
I was one of the 3 people that did. And I'll say that like they made an excellent comedy.
As far as like a cult, like it was supposed to be campy and stupid. Like
Sure.
they made exactly what they set out to make.
Well, truth in advertising.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, like I remember like being one of 3 people like in the theater. We were all laughing our asses off.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime anything happened, like it was a comedy.
Right.
Yeah, I think they just marketed it wrong.
I can't even remember. Were they trying to
Snakes
make it?
on a plane.
Were they trying to make it like?
They
like
tried
an
to make it a
action thriller?
serious thing. Yeah, they tried to make it. Yeah,
I want to go back and dig out those old trailers now.
Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, probably the worst movie he ever made. But it's still great.
Yeah. I'd be interested to watch it again. It's been like since it came out.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, it's good. Holds up. Well, I don't know.
My mom took me to see, I talk about it on stage, Beavis and Butthead in theaters when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah?
And then when Jackass came out, like we were huge Jackass fans. We really wanted to go see the Jackass movie, but we were only like 15, 16 at the time. So couldn't get in there. So my mom took me and my buddies to go watch Jackass. And I remember sitting in the theaters, my mom like watching Jackass, and she was laughing harder and louder than any of us were. It was like, to the point that it was almost embarrassing, but it was also like, it's one of my favorite memories to like be sitting and watching Jackass, and like Steve-O's got his dick out for the 15th time. My mom's just like knee slapping.
And then you're looking at her like, you're not supposed to. This.
She was always the cool mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents were not that. No. I wasn't allowed to watch South Park,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure that the reason I have a tough time doing clean comedy is I'm reminded of it. I went golfing with my mom this last weekend.
Okay.
She swears all the time. That's yeah.
My dad was insane with the cussing because my dad, like, my mom and dad are 2 completely different people. Mom has a master's degree in microbiology, and dad's been like in and out of prison like since he was 16.
You could lay it down.
Like, mom's really into bad guys or something. Like, and I think she liked the idea of like, because he's like 6'6", 300 pounds. He was on the Iowa wrestling team. And, like, I think she liked the idea of having her own like junkyard dog that she could keep on a leash and just like, all right, go.
Well, could she keep him on a leash?
For the most part.
Yeah.
But like, she had a friend named Steph, and she had a shitty boyfriend at the time, and he like smacked her around, and Steph told mom told Deke, and Deke responded by driving to his parents' place and smashing his car into, just driving his car into his and like knocking into the front seat and like just walking in the front door to go talk to him.
Hey, bud.
Yeah.
I like that.
He was insane.
Well,
but it came with its benefits.
justified.
I had a school bully. He tried to run me off the road one time. Told Deke. Deke went to his house. Pulled him out of his car.
It's kind of like the plot to The Irishman.
Yeah, a little bit.
Remember that?
I remember telling a therapist about that, and she sounds like, was your dad like in the Midwest Mafia or something? I was like, you never told me officially, but we lived in this super small town, and we would drive between where I lived and where I went to school. And one day there was this terrible smell, and it just kept getting worse and worse every day we drive by.
Yep.
And
Meth.
well, I go, I
Bodies?
think that's like a dead deer, because I just remember smelling like a dead mouse in the house one
Yeah.
time. It's very similar. I was like, I think that's a dead deer. And my dad goes, no,
Nah.
that's a person. And then 2 days later, there's a news article that a guy was riding his bike and got clipped by a car and fell in the ditch and died. And that's what it
Oh.
was. So either my dad has been around enough dead bodies that he can discern
He can know-
human from deer, or
He was in the army.
he hit the fucking guy. I remember finding that out when I was like 15 and being like, oh, I'm never going to fist fight Dad.
No.
And we're not going to do that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I had an older dad. That was never on the table.
Okay.
Yeah. By the time I was 12, I could kick his ass.
Okay.
Yeah. Once the spankings, once I would not voluntarily, but once they couldn't, he literally said to me, "It's like, what am I gonna do? Spank you?"
Right.
Like, well, good point.
It's
You're
a good
gonna hurt
point.
yourself. Yeah.
I'm leaving now, Dad. See you later.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've learned all I can.
He always taught me, like, his main thing that he taught me was, like never plead guilty unless they offer you a plea deal. Like, that was what he taught me.
Valuable lessons. Valuable lessons. Sounds like he's got experience. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then, like, the opposite of that is, like, mom with, like, her education. Like, you need to focus on school. I'm not going to raise an idiot. I'm not going to raise you to be your dad. Well, you should probably get him out of the house.
I feel like that's a good mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why you didn't make my 600-pound life.
Or why I didn't finish high school.
Or, okay, well, fuck, you didn't finish high school?
No, I dropped out.
All right, hell yeah.
It was a combination, like,
Did you have to get a GED? Because that's the same thing.
yeah, I got the GED.
Yep.
But it was like, they used to let me take, like, the advanced classes because they knew I could handle it, but I just refused to do any of the work.
Yeah,
So I would
homework
never turn
sucks.
anything in. Like, I'd be in, like, AP, like, European literature, but I hadn't passed 9th grade English yet.
Well, dude, you hear that, like, Norway is in the top, 1% of education? And they
Doesn't surprise me.
don't give out homework. They don't do that.
Yeah.
They just teach them, test them, go live your life.
I remember seeing Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about, like, the AI and, like, how the tests and, like, it's so easy to access AI to get around the test. He's like, just start doing oral exams again.
And then the are doing that too.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, compound laziness. I've got some controversial thoughts on. Well, I don't know. I mean, like they walk around calling themselves and they got 3 months off every year.
I guess they are raising the children's mind, like they're the youth, but also like
you clock
there's
out
a certain
at 3,
amount of them that are like, all right, this is the yellow brick, this is the blue brick.
Don't eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't snip the crayon.
And then, well, okay, so I was having a lot of house parties in like my earlier 20s, and every once in a while somebody would come in who was a and they'd let it, I'm like, oh, I'm in 2nd grade, I gotta wake up tomorrow, shape the minds of the youth. And it's like, we're doing Molly. Holy shit, it's gonna be a tape day,
You're hungover already.
Yeah. Yeah, you're pretty enough that I won't say anything, but yeah.
Well, our teacher would.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
If we ever busted them, definitely calling the cops on them all.
It just seems to me like if you really loved your job, you wouldn't take 3 months off every year. Like
Yeah.
if you really loved it,
Especially like the Japanese system where they just go to school year round.
Wow.
Get like 2 weeks off.
That
go
might
to
be
school
too
for 3
much, I
weeks.
don't know. And then, themselves by the time they're 24. The most painful way possible.
Right.
A butter knife and then twist.
Or jumping off the top of a mobile phone company.
Ah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
one of the nets catches them.
Well, hopefully. That's China. I don't know.
Good point.
Yeah. There's a cultural distinction there.
One is jumping off towers, the other one is
Japanese
quietly
think-
in their home.
The Japanese are so superior, they think that they don't put the nets up. Yeah. Ritual suicide. I do like the idea of shame,
Like a shame culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in Catholic school. That's how, bullying sometimes works.
It's also how you end up with Catholic school shootings.
With a shooter. Well, okay, so that was
on
a
a
church.
Wednesday.
And the guy was like 20 years old.
All right.
I would argue to him, pick on people your own size, Like, go to, a country concert, try that.
They
you
did.
know?
They stopped doing it for a while.
Well, they did it from really far away, like cowards.
So you want suicide bombers at country concerts?
Not bombers. No. I want, like...
Gunmen?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be more sporting, I think,
Okay.
than, like, getting a sniper rifle and then go into the,
Picking them off.
Right. Because, like, I don't know, man. I mean, there's got to be so many fucking things that, like, lead up to that you could, like, point out. Not that I'm advocating arresting people for thought crime.
Not yet.
Because then everybody in traffic would have been arrested.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. I don't see how you get so upset with something that you come to that conclusion.
Of picking people off.
Yeah. Fucking roundabouts.
Well, who was playing that concert when it happened?
Jason Aldean.
Okay. Yeah. I can't imagine, like,
He's not even that good.
anything about Jason Aldean setting me off feeling like I'm going to kill everybody.
Well, did he do the Proud to Be an American?
Didn't
it's
they
more
all do that?
I think they all did that, but he was the one who wrote that one.
Okay.
When I will salute the flag.
I love the music, like the country music came out after 9/11 where it was like, we're going to kill everybody.
Yeah.
You remember Jackal? When Jackal came out with that, like, I can't remember what it was. It was the most blatant, like, it was on the radio. It was the only time that Jackals had to play outside of, like, 93 on the radio.
Yeah.
Was the post 9/11 song that they came up with.
I don't remember that one. I'll have to brush up.
We'll have to pull it out.
Yeah. Okay, so tinfoil hats on, gang. Seems to me like all this is bullshit.
Like what?
War.
The war in general? Or just
Any war.
Yeah.
There's always some ulterior motive, and then the thing that makes me the most scared about it are, like, the radicals that are above a certain tax bracket.
Mm-hmm.
They legitimately think that bringing a war in Jerusalem is going to bring about the second coming of Jesus.
That's what I can't get over is that
And they seem hell bent on making that happen.
they keep going, that's like the main, like, any Christian's, like, positivity, like, as far as, like, Israel taking back the Holy Land, is the Jews taking back the Holy Land, is because it says so in the Bible. That's what leads to Jesus coming. What they leave out in between the Jews coming back to the Holy Land and the second coming of Jesus is that Armageddon, where everybody dies.
Right.
So you have people who are arguing, like, oh, you can't kill babies because you can't have abortions because you're killing babies. You can't do this because it's not godly. But then they also
but we're
directly
also
answer,
gunning for the end of the
we want to kill
civilization.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, stay consistent. Well, have you ever heard of the Opus Dei cult?
Mm-mm.
There's a sect of, and it started in like the 1400s. It was that dude, the antagonist from Da Vinci Code. The guy who was like self-flatulating and shooting people.
Yeah.
That character was based on this cult.
Okay.
It's ultra-conservative Christians. They target high net worth individuals. Like, you can't join the church. It's not all are welcome. You get invited.
Yeah.
And then everybody uses that as like a status symbol. And then above that is like the,
If you look at, like, we were talking about Rogan, like, if you look at, like, super early Rogan podcasts, they're very, like, Jesus is stupid, the Christianity's dumb, and, like, he has all these scientists on. But if you watch it now, he openly admits he's going to church. His newest podcast, or the newest stand-up they just said, like, he says, like, I don't believe in evolution, I think it's stupid, or something along those lines. And, like, he's openly, like, oh yeah, I'm going to church now that he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars and hanging out with like-minded people.
If Joe Rogan's Opus Dei, well then he's probably dumb and rich enough to join,
But people point out, like, as if Joe's not possible of being dumb because he's talked to some really smart people.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Joe got famous for, like, not believing in the moon landing and having Alex Jones on his podcast and listening to the shit that he had to say. So, like,
well, there's reasons to believe that the tapes were faked.
which tapes?
The moon tapes.
Well, yeah,
Because there's a whole radiation belt where it would fuck up magnetic tape.
right,
Imagine going there, trying to do the shoot. I'm not saying we didn't go.
right.
I'm saying that, like, maybe we had to go and then had to produce it after the fact to, win the Cold War. No problem. No, that's all right. We're in your space. Boop.
Just throw stuff at him.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, and that's a tough position to be in. Like like, and that was the Cold War. You know,
Right.
it was kind of like it is
We
now.
want to show we have some sort of superiority, so we're gonna tell them we made it to the moon. I do think we made it, but like I can see how you'd be like, well, I think that they did this or they changed that or the story was a little bit different than what they proposed it as. I can agree with that.
I think the thing that's bullshit now is like NASA will admit that like we lost that technology, and I'm like, what? You lost the Atari that you used to get there?
Right.
What the hell? You know?
We still make it back every
Like,
now and again.
was it really just dudes with pieces like smoking like huffing cigs and like doing math with pencil? Because if that was the case, well then yeah, we lost the technology. But
Right.
like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll also say this: it's like I used to be like not an evangelical atheist, but like after doing a bunch of hallucinogens, I'm okay not knowing any answers.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen some stuff that I absolutely cannot explain that was profound and real and impossible to explain. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that, you know, where humans get involved is like if you had an experience like that, you saw something from another dimension, beyond time, whatever.
How would your brain conceptualize it? How would you break it down into something
How are you
can
going to put that on
understand?
paper that makes sense to people who fucking go find food and find their way home?
Yeah, dirt floors are like the height of technology at that time.
That's what I'm saying, right? And like, you know, if it was true, then like, you know, your human vessel is not designed to perceive stuff like that.
Right.
And where I draw the line is whenever people, you know, incur suffering on other folks because of that.
Yeah.
You know, like as soon as you hit somebody over the head with a stick because their idea is wrong, it's like, no, it could be the same idea and you guys are just bitching over the interpretation.
Yeah,
You know?
it's always interesting when you think about like, especially like the Abrahamic religions. Like, I
They
can't-
all went to high school together.
yeah, they
Yeah.
all believe in the same God.
Yeah.
It's just like, do you believe that Jesus is the Messiah? No, then you might
No.
be Jewish or you might be Muslim. Do you believe that Allah was the Messiah? Well, then you're Muslim. Like, it's just different, just gradients. And then you go into the Christianity, you have all the different denominations that are just different variations on one another. That's what I
And
talk
a lot
about.
of that stuff needed to happen, you know, like
Yeah.
the Lutheran Church starting over, Martin Luther, you know, here's a list of grievances. That's because they were like basically collecting tolls for tickets to heaven,
Right.
you know, and I mean, and that's what people do, you know, they turn everything into a dirty little business. Anyways, you want to go in there and, well,
See what's going on.
yep.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Connie's Untitled Nighttime Talk Show. Thanks, Byron.
Yeah, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Help with anything?
If you want to break down a stand.
See what happens. How was that? Was that okay? I never know how far they get into the Christian stuff where I'm like, all right, people are going to think we're insane.
I feel like